Hey guys, welcome back. So I just finished eating. I decided to vlog after I finished my lunch, and it was egg salad again today, leftovers from yesterday, but I really wasn't feeling it. It did not taste good, and I'm not sure why. And now we got to take my hair down because it's driving me nuts. I'm not feeling that great today, but it's like stomach issues, and it's probably because I wound up having a donut this morning. Not one of the big ones, one of the smaller ones. But part of it, and I slept really good last night. I don't know why I'm yawning. But part of the reason I'm not feeling great is because when I went into work this morning again, right off the bat, my boss was in a cranky, like incredibly cranky mood. Sorry, I'm trying to get my foot positioned so I can sit comfortably in my car. It's gonna be propped up for now. And come to find out, like between her and my teammate, it was just nonstop whining and complaining about this external audit. And here's my perspective. So we're going through this external audit right now. It's nothing new. It's external audits for nonprofits are very standard. If you're in finance, you know what an audit is. You know what to expect. You know that all their only job is to protect the investments of the organization and make sure that there's nothing shady going on. So in my mind, if you are a trustworthy person and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, there is no reason why an audit should stress you out. Now, that said, don't jump on me if you're in finance and you hate audits. It's not that they're not a lot of work. Audits are a ton of work. But if you're good at keeping records and you're very transparent and you're not purposefully doing something wrong, but you're doing the best job that you can, and you've, in this audit, the CPA firm is not new, so you kind of know what to expect, then why, and see, this is my fourth audit that I've been through with this organization, and every year it gets worse for me. Not because of the audit, not because of my role, not because of what I have to do, but because of my teammates. It is the worst time of year for me. I hate listening to them bitch and moan and whine and complain. And I'm sorry for the cursing. It wears on me. I get depressed. I get frustrated, particularly this year because my comptroller and my teammate get paid significantly more than what I do. And yet their attitudes suck. So that's part of my problem. But the other part of it is I have been through many, many audits before. I used to work at a CPA firm where one of my dear friends was the auditor, the head of auditing for that CPA firm. And she's not stupid. She's not trying to make people's lives miserable. Her job is to make sure that she traces the money from point A to point Z and follows the path. And that's what they're there for. So if your work is not 100% transparent or not 100% traceable, then you need to get it 100% traceable. You need to make sure that the work you're doing cannot be questioned by anybody. Anybody should be able to step up to your books and go, okay, everything looks good. There should be no questions. There should be no doubt. And yet all I keep hearing is nonstop. Audits are reviews of work that's already done. So after your very first audit, you should know exactly what to do. And in this day and age of digital information and electronic files, scan things. Why is this a problem? Why is this such a big deal? Why do they react year after year as though this is the worst thing that has ever happened in the world, and what an inconvenience it is, and why are they asking for this, and they're so stupid? And this is part of the problem, is we've got these two people who are criticizing and condemning CPAs for a very large CPA firm. These are people who have studied and passed the CPA exam, which is very hard. And they have been hired to do audits. Clearly they're capable. Clearly they're not stupid. All of this is coming in the wake of my performance review and having now 14 months straight of 100% accurate payroll. And all of the deadlines that I met and the collections, hundreds and thousands of dollars, and the achievements I've had with implementing the two softwares. And now they're talking about implementing a third one, which in the end is supposed to make my life easier. And I knew that this was coming, but the timeline was supposed to be like 18 months. Well, now they're saying in the next 6 months. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I've already done one billing software in addition to our existing software, and I already implemented a new payroll software and system. And I'm like, oh my gosh. In this last year, we had, 2 extra billing cycles right in the middle of my busiest season in summer when I'm actually trying to do the work. And yeah, you hear me stressed at work occasionally on payroll day, but that's because I'm trying to process payroll. I'm not sitting there with completed work bitching about something that's already done that it's an inconvenient to go dig up the record. Like, if someone is asking me for information in order to protect the interests of the organization, then my job is to just answer their questions. Why is this such a big deal? Anyway, guys, I know this vlog is long enough. We're at like 10 minutes now, and I'm just like, I'm worn out. It's getting to me. It's bringing me down. Oh, and I'm looking forward to my art show coming up, and I'm struggling with whether I should leave my job or not. I'm because I'm grateful. I am so appreciative of the fact that this time of year, things are quiet. And then in the summer months, I am pulling my hair out and I'm being ripped from limb to limb because I'm so busy. And the onslaught is very real. And in the back of my mind, I'm very upset about the raise and the accusations that were made of me. And I'm trying to get my head straight about all this stuff. Like, I'm not loving my team right now. And I'm not loving my job right now. Not that I expect to love it all the time, but I think that the illusion that I was under, that this would be a job I would be at for years because I just love it and I love the people I work with. Like, I feel like things have changed a little bit and I'm starting to see the light, especially since this new executive director came on board and she has pulled back some of my administrative duties that my comptroller had given to me because I have the experience and the knowledge to be able to do that. And my executive director, seems to be either pulling it back from her or from me and giving it to my comptroller in order to justify her role, or because she doesn't like me, or the combination of the two, or what. I don't really know what's going on. I really don't know what to think. I know that my boss is not advocating for me. I know that much. I don't understand why I didn't get more than 3% at my performance review when I did so well. And so I'm struggling with, is it time to leave this job and look for something else? And I know I've mentioned that a couple times on this channel, but I keep wavering. Like, as soon as I think to myself, yep, it's time to leave, I change my mind and think, nope, it's not time to leave. And I don't want to sound ungrateful, because I am grateful. It's just, number one, I'm not feeling appreciated. Number two, I know I could do more and I know I could do better. Number three, I don't think they have faith in me. Like, there's a part of my role that makes me feel like I'm getting overpaid to be a clerk, but I never wanted to be just a clerk. I'm skilled. I have abilities. And so I'm wondering if but the bottom line is, my boss could not do my job, like what I'm doing right now. She used to do the job that I'm in, or the title that I have, but over the past couple of years with the implementations of these new softwares, I've been doing it, and I am a really fast worker, and I don't think she could do it. I really don't. I think that, and plus right now she's got her own work, and frankly, I don't think she has enough work to be a full-time employee. And I think that's why there's some screwy stuff happening in my department. I'm very frustrated, and what's going on inside me is I don't know if it's worth talking to her or writing her a letter, or talking to the finance director, or having a conversation with him, or writing a letter to him. There's so much that has happened that I'm afraid they don't know about, but there's also probably a lot of stuff that I don't know about. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. And at the same time, there's this part of me that's like, if I were to leave, I've been looking at similar jobs, opportunities to what I do right now. And there's a lot of them out there, but they don't have the benefits that I have right now. So as soon as I look at the job opportunity, I'm like, no, primarily because of that. On the other hand, if I were to look at leaving this organization, would I do something different? Something that contributes a little bit more to society, something that's more respectable, something that I could be proud of that I do. Because right now, the organization I work for, even though it is classified as a nonprofit, they're not like a recovery center or a mental health or a hospital or anything that does anything for the good of the community. It's not like that. It's actually, the longer I'm there, the more ashamed I am to work there, because I suspect that there's some sketch stuff about the organization. And I don't know that I want to be part of an organization that may possibly have roots. I don't know. I might have to do more searching. There is so much more to the story than I'm able to cover in this vlog. To say that I'm struggling with what next step to do is an understatement. I think that I hit the nail on the head in the last vlog when I said I'll probably be looking for another opportunity, but it may take some time because it has to be the right opportunity. I think that's still true. I'm not opposed to leaving, and at the same time, I don't want to leave just to leave. I just kind of feel the stirring that I would prefer sooner rather than later. If they've decided to bump up the timeline of this third software, and I spend the next 6 months working my tail off to help implement this software, only to get to September of next year and get a 3% pay increase again, I'm not going to be okay with that. I'm not going to be okay. I wasn't okay with it this year. I'm of the opinion, and I always have been, that your pay increase, whether it be at 90 days or annually or every 6 months or whatever it is, should be a reflection of your performance. And if someone gets a performance like I did this year, which was stellar, glowing, they shouldn't just get 3% cost of living. That's a slap in the face. There is no incentive whatsoever to work hard and meet deadlines and be accurate with a 3% pay increase being the result of a very, very hard working season on my part. That was a slap in the face. But like I said, I struggle with being an average employee, and the other option I have is to just be an average employee. So those are my ponderings for today. I got to get back to work now. My lunch is almost up, but I'll have to weigh all these thoughts. I'm struggling right now with keeping my head straight and keeping a positive attitude. And it's not the audit that's wearing me down and exhausting me. I feel like in my past, I've been through so many audits. Audits don't scare me. Part of me is extremely frustrated listening to my boss, the comptroller, as well as my teammate, complain and complain and complain and complain incessantly about this audit and how incompetent these auditors are. It makes no sense whatsoever for them to be condemning them as clueless and calling them stupid when their job is to make sure we're doing our job. I don't know. I don't know what to think, but in any case, the whole point is to let you know that I haven't figured it all out. I haven't figured out life yet. I'm still struggling, and hopefully it'll become clear as time wears on. I just don't know what I'm going to be doing with myself. I don't know what I'm going to be doing about my job. All I really know for the time being is that I'm not super happy right now where I'm at. I'm really sick and tired of the bitching and the complaining. I know that much. And that's about all I can say. So I'm sitting at work, and my teammate just left for lunch. I'm having a hard time getting through the day, listening to the incessant complaining, just struggling a little bit, trying to keep my chin up. Having my cup of tea. Harney and Sons, hot cinnamon sunset. Listening to good music. Lord of the Rings soundtrack. So, I decided today is a really good day for me to go for a walk and get some fresh air and stretch my legs. Like I said in a recent video, I think, I've been doing this every day for about 2 weeks now at about 3:30 in the afternoon after I've had lunch, let my food digest. There's at least 3 very good reasons for me to be doing this. 1, it helps my food digest, my lunch. 2, it's good for me to be mobile. Sitting at a desk all day long is not good for the body. So getting up in the middle of the afternoon is a really good idea. Stretch my legs, breathe deeply, focus on the fresh air, blue sky. And my office is in the middle of a very quiet residential type neighborhood. So there's not a lot of traffic. In the winter, some of the roads aren't plowed well, so I may not be able to continue doing this in the winter, especially if it's icy. But for the time being, the roads are bare. And the third thing, almost forgot to list the third thing, is it clears my head. Really, really good idea for me to be doing this. Today's been a rough day mentally for me, but I'm trying to get on track. When you're a person who struggles with your own self-worth and you equate your value as an employee to your rate of pay or your title, oof, that's a tough realization, especially because my dad put such weight on paychecks and titles, position, power, influence. You know, that's what got me his approval. That's what got me his, ooh, sun's coming out. Ooh, but I'm back in the tree. Oh, there we go. I don't know if it's gonna get me, but sure is beautiful. Blue sky. The clouds were a lot thicker this morning. It's a lot nicer now. But boy, I started on something that's like an epiphany for me. My value as a person, still struggling with that. Clearly a big struggle for me. I'm just clearing branches off the street so nobody drives over it and hurts their car. It's a flat tire or damages anything. It's very fascinating to me to think about that all over again, even though I know I've mentioned it before and it's nothing new, but wow, the mental struggle is nothing. I think that's probably why I struggle with leaving this position and that decision, because I don't hate the job at all. Bottom line is, I equate my personal self-worth based on how I was raised, what my dad taught me, that I was only worthy if I made the most money, and I was only worthy if I had a title, fancy title. If I had power, authority, control. What's so funny is my dad had a problem with that. He never made a bunch of money. We were never wealthy. In fact, we struggled. We went without quite a bit. My dad wasn't, we were cold a lot of time. I was freezing as a child. My husband and I often talk now about how we grew up always being cold because our parents couldn't afford the heat. Oh boy, oh boy. So this is a lot deeper than just work stress. It goes a lot deeper. I feel like I could use a good cry, because now it goes back to my childhood. Because when I think about it rationally and logically, all my issues with work have to do with how I see myself in comparison to others. I know I do a good job. Shouldn't that be enough for me? You can tell this is taking a toll on me, because this all started months ago and I'm still not over it. But it runs deep. It's touching old wounds that, or scars I should say, that had scabbed over but are being re-wounded. I'm a little over halfway through my walk, and I need to do some deep breathing and clear my head. So I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for coming along with me today. Wish me luck at my art show this weekend. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.